Okay, so the characteristic sin is the inflation, which is the person driving down the shoulder of the road as if it's theirs, right? Or the person that's chronically speeding at 85 miles an hour. We expect people to follow certain rules if they're going to drive, and that's the transpersonal self. And you can, if your ego gets away with you, and you have this inflation saying, "I don't have to follow that rule," you might end up in the corner.
So that's where I'm having trouble, I guess, because I'm thinking transpersonal, like in transpersonal psychology, where you're dealing with
Well,
has to do probably more to do with the self with a big S.
what is a self with a big S? I agree with that, but this is psychology. I mean, we're driving down the road. We're not thinking about it. It's unconscious, but we are relying on all of our fellow citizens to follow certain rules. Okay, that's the transpersonal self, the expectation that everybody's going to follow these rules, and if you get inflated to the extent that you don't have to follow these rules, then you're transgressing that trust of all your fellow citizens, right? Your ego is saying, I don't have to do that, okay? But you do. If you don't, you're going to end up probably in the coroner's office. Good chance of it. I mean, you might take some innocent kids with you, or you might be stupid and turn left when you should have turned right. Okay, so petition number 6. Petition number 6, lead us not into temptation. Self and its desire for total realization, total incarnation of its opposite nature, leads one into evil as well as into good. Okay. So what this is saying is that God isn't totally good, and you don't have to be good, right? But God isn't totally good, or the self isn't totally good, and so you might be tempted to go down the shoulder of the highway, right? On certain occasions. I mean, and certain, That's a temptation.
That's too much.
Or you might be tempted to go 85, and sometimes it's justifiable if you've got a lady with a baby in your car that has to get to the hospital.
Courts might disagree.
Who cares?
You saved your baby.
Yeah, very honestly, what penalty is worth having your baby die because you didn't get to the hospital?
Because you went by the rules.
Yeah. I mean, and your wife would never forgive you, right?
So there's the psychologist, Carol Gilligan, and she talks about that, like in her book. I'm trying to think what the book is. But basically you have, like, not all structure has to be followed 100% because there are circumstances that morally you shouldn't follow.
Right.
And so that has to be taken into account. Her name is Carol Gilligan. She wrote the book like maybe the 60s. I'm trying to think what the name of the book is.
She did one book on Persephone.
On what?
Persephone.
Yeah, I know she is. She's a feminist writer.
No, I have a degree in women's studies. So yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I haven't read her in about 30 years.
Yeah, I remember. I just can't remember the name of the book.
And so
turn off the TV and get educated.
In a different voice, I think that's what. That's the name of the book. In a different voice.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's I know that.
And it's basically about moral decision making.
So the fundamental, I think, that we're trying to get to here is that there are opposites. Those opposites do cause energy to go back and forth between them. That's what causes psychic energy. And so we may be tempted to do something that isn't totally kosher or isn't totally what everybody else would do in the given situation. But you know, if I roll through a stop sign that I go through every day, and everybody rolls through the stop sign, then you know, I'm tempted to roll through the stop sign every day. And you know, most of the time people get away with it. I did see one time when there was a cop sitting next to the stop sign, right? And about 3 cars ahead of me, the guy rolls through with it, seeing the cop. I mean, the cop wasn't. The cop was sitting right there. He wasn't unmarked or anything. He was sitting there, and the guy comes up to the stop sign, rolls through, and sure enough, he gets picked up right away. Right. So out of the 600 or 700 times I've gone through that stop sign, one case where the guy got a ticket. Well, he got stopped. I don't know if he got a ticket, but it is not into temptation. But you know, obviously, I'm very tempted to roll through that stop sign every time and watch to see if there's a cop sitting there.
We made a big to-do before about God leading, not leading us, that implied that God wanted to lead us into temptation, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yes, that
Please don't leave us in the temple.
God has an opposite nature. Okay, the God image, the self, has an opposite nature, and the opposite nature is to roll through the stop sign. Okay, that's better for.
Okay, I got you.
That's better for everybody. It's better for everybody because the 30 cars behind me, if
So then maybe it should be a yield sign instead of a stop sign.
pardon, a what?
A yield sign instead of a stop sign.
Or there should be a stoplight. I mean, really, there should be, because I've had 30 cars behind me, and it's actually frightening, because if you actually stop fully, somebody's going to hit you.
Fatality.
Somebody's going to hit you in the back,
They're
and
expecting you to roll through it like everybody else.
right, exactly. And so you have to. Okay.
And risk the ticket.
Well,
a police officer.
well, you can try to negotiate with the officer, right?
If I don't break the law, I'll get hit.
If I don't break the law, there's going to be a pile up of 6 cars.
I'm actually helping.
Right.
You're helping keep all them to get
Right.
because you got it.
You know, it happened to me once. I got somebody stopped in front of me. I hit him, and the car behind me hit me. I was sandwiched in there.
I see that all right up the road on where Forest and Hilltop come out. You know, the 2 lanes. Boy, I see accidents there 3 times a week.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I work in this area. I do all the houses around here, and
Right.
oh god.
Oh my God. Okay, so petition number 7, deliver us from evil. So, protect us from the disruptive dangers that you cannot help but lead us into. Okay, so a disruptive danger might be somebody that's not following the precise law, right? And so any number of times I've had my psyche intervene with me to protect me from that sort of a situation where, you know, I'm going along and all of a sudden, wow, I have to swerve, and I don't know why. I just do it. And so my transpersonal self is saying, you know, it has better reflexes than my conscious mind does, and it causes me to swerve, and boy, I just missed somebody or something like that. I mean, that's probably happened to you on your bike, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, on my bike, the day when I broke my arm, I came out of I live on Defense Highway, and I went right and I just came from work in Annapolis. I was trying to get to Glen Burnie, and right ended all the way back up in Annapolis. And so then I got on 99 and rolling back around, and the Veterans Highway where I wrecked. And that morning, like when it started, I left the lights on. Like there was like 3 different things this day that was like, and I just didn't listen to it. I'm trying to get better about listening to that. You know?
Yeah, you have to pay attention. But
I've had dreams And I've heard of other people having to stop them from doing something they were going to do.
Absolutely.
I listen to other
Yeah.
those.
My mother has dreams when we listen to her. You know, she's always thinks the sky's falling, but sometimes if she's adamant, then it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, remember my Albert dream, right?
Yes.
Well,
I tell that story all the time.
well, what I was, this relates to my knee replacement, right? And Albert was my knee, okay, in a dream that I had, okay? But I was talking to Lou Ruland during a meeting preparatory to my knee replacement, and he said that he said, I always pay attention to that. He said, because I had a patient who came to me 2 days before the surgery and said, I had a dream that if I have this surgery, I'm going to die on the operating table, so I just can't do it. And Lou says, no problem, we're not going to work on you. 1 week later, he had a heart attack. He survived it.
Oh, wow.
And he had his knee replaced a year later. But if he had had that surgery, he would have died. And so that guy's dream, that transpersonal self, told him something else was going on. You better pay attention. Right? I'm not having any Albert dreams anymore. But
Well, as I recall, Albert got kidnapped and you never saw him again. Right?
He's on a boat in the sunset in the Caribbean.
that is true. But
No place.
yeah, but that dream put me off having the surgery for a year. And huh?
It puts you off.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of warned me off of going ahead. And, it could have been, Skip, you have to really pay more attention to your group first. Okay, that's more important to you than whether you get this knee fixed right now, right? I mean, it could be something as simple as that. And it's not about the surgery at all. It's about something else that my life needs. Okay? And this is meeting number 46 for this group. So the fact that we've kept it together for a year is pretty amazing to me. I'm thrilled with it. Okay, so anyway, asking our transpersonal self, our psyche, our unconscious, to protect us from other things that we can't have no way of stopping. Shit happens. There's evil in the world. Any other? The Lord's Prayer, just for your information, appears in the Bible in Matthew 6, 9 through 13, and in Luke 11, 2 through 4. That's where it is.
The same one appears twice,
Yeah, it's two different writers, right?
but it's the same words.
No, not precisely. But I did bring the Jerusalem Bible, so if you'd like to hear it from the two. Okay, so let's see. What did I say? Matthew 6.
I was just curious if you said the two.
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
Wonder which one I go with.
Okay, so it's so here. This is the nice thing about the Jerusalem Bible is all through the Bible it has these headlines that tells you what the story is about in this particular section. So this is how to pray the Lord's Prayer. Okay, and so in your prayers, do not babble as the pagans do, for they think that by using many words they will make themselves heard. Do not be like them. Your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. So you should pray like this: Our Father in heaven, may your name be held holy. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we have forgiven those who are in debt to us. And do not put us to the test, but save us from the evil one. Yes, if you forgive others their failings, your heavenly Father will forgive you yours. But if you do not forgive others, your Father will not forgive your failings. Okay, awesome. That's Matthew, huh? Okay, so that's Matthew, and here's Luke. Luke
See,
11.
my father was a banker, and it really bothers me.
Okay, so I'm going to read Luke 1 through 4. Now once he was, all right, so this is Luke 11, 1 through 4. Now once he was in a certain place praying, and when he had finished, one of his disciples said, Lord, teach us to pray, just as John taught his disciples. He said to them, say this when you pray. Father, may your name be held holy, your kingdom come. Give us each day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins. For we ourselves forgive each one who is in debt to us, and do not put us to the test.
That was not, neither one of those.
Well, that's Jerusalem.
Yeah, this is the Jerusalem Bible, okay, which I believe is a Catholic version of the Bible, right? It's not what I was brought up with, but I didn't learn either one of these versions, but the ideas are the same, right? So anyway, I now have 3 versions of the Bible at home.
That's actually seems like a simpler version of the
Yeah,
Lord's Prayer.
right.
So that
Actually, the New American Bible is even better. I brought it in one time, but it was the one that has all the notes in it. That's awesome, that version of the Bible, because it connects up everything in the Bible with every other thing. But Sherry, what has amazed me about our readings here is that these people at that time, 2,000 years ago, really knew what Jung was talking about. And Bill has pointed out that the Gnostics were literally talking about the exact same things that Jung was talking about. And the Church Fathers, they wanted some mystic element to it.
They wanted to be middlemen.
Well, they wanted to be middlemen, and they wanted the money, right? They wanted the money, and so, we see it. It's very obvious when you go to Rome and go to St. Peter's. They succeeded.
And Jung never went to Rome.
Didn't he? Yeah, I guess he didn't.
He something about it. He was either repelled, he'd get sick, or he went to Jerusalem, but he never went to Rome.
He never went to Rome. Yeah, I don't doubt it. And there's some very interesting stories about him in northern Italy.